One of the best ways, in my view, of really getting to terms with how the way we approach our experiencing can change our experience of it, or the way it feels for us, is a really positive exercise where, for example, you take something that is going to perhaps suppose. I mean, let me give you some examples. Supposing a woman, say, had a really wonderful time. She really enjoyed, say, the breastfeeding of her baby, say. So she might recall that. She might recall it. We were doing a grounding exercise first, then recall it. And she's feeling that, yeah, she's remembering and feeling those really positive experiences. So she might start off by saying, well, so supposing her name was, say, Lily. Lily was the baby. Lily was responsible for all these feelings. And you might get a reaction. Or supposing it was a holiday, you're like, oh, that holiday made me feel fantastic. And we notice how that way of conceptualizing it affects the experience. And then we might move on to, I'm noticing all these lovely feelings. I'm really noticing this fantastic way in which the feelings that thinking about the breastfeeding did, or thinking about the holiday raises. So you're merging with it, you're identifying with it, you're merging with it. And then we might just move on to, well, I'm noticing these happy feelings where there's a bit more space. And maybe the fourth one is, I'm noticing that some part of me perhaps feels quite happy. So the idea is that we take people on a little journey, and not everybody will automatically get it. Not everyone. So can I just say, if you're in the chat room and you want to try the exercise and you don't get it, there's no, that's okay. Not everyone gets it. But I'm hoping that enough people will get it and notice the shifts that take place when you just change some of the language.
Okay.
Have I explained it? Have I explained it?
Well, it feels to me like you've really set it out nicely. Shall we just do it and see how we get on? Yeah.
Okay.
So I think it's really nice that you're asking us to think of something really positive, something that.
Absolutely.
But we also want to invite people just to be careful. We're kind of all in our own spaces. We're not in a group physically together. So just to go easy on ourselves and just to take care as we do this, I guess.
Absolutely. So we're going to just do a little ground. We've got this on the resources as well. I mean, do people need to see that slide, or shall I just take us through it? Why
don't you walk us through it, John, with your voice? That'd be great.
Okay, so the first thing is, could we just check in the room that for those who want to take part, people know, if you like, what sort of memory or whatever it is that they want to remember. What is it that they want to recall? Can we just, before I do walk us through it, can we check that people have got something really lovely, like a holiday, meeting with a friend, or walk in a park that always. There's a beautiful park people walking, or a beautiful beach that they went to. Can we check to see whether people have got? Because I can't see the chat room at the moment.
Yes. So yeah, well, I've just got my in the chat room. If anybody is in the chat room, wants to just let us know if you need more clarification, or if you've got that kind of memory, even just pressing Y and hit return, let us know, would be fantastic. And of course, John, there's a little bit of a lag by the time our voices just get to everybody's computers, and then by the time there's any typing going on. So we've got our first piece of feedback. Got it. So that's fantastic. Great. Great. So I guess there's some of that communication is making it out to the group. Fantastic. Yeah.
So I'll keep the timing of it. So the first thing is I'm just inviting everybody to, firstly, if I'm assuming that you're sitting in a chair, people might be lying on the floor, of course, or whatever, but just if you're sitting in a chair or settee, just to really get yourself as comfortable as you can. So if everybody gets themselves really, really comfortable.
I'm just unpacking my shoulders a bit, George, just to kind of relax a bit. We've had some techie issues, haven't we? So it's taken us a few minutes just to come down.
Yeah, so
Yeah, so
I
just relax into the seat and breathe a little
relax.
bit, I guess, or yeah.
Just yeah, absolutely. Just notice your breathing.
Mm.
Just notice the floor supporting you if you can. And literally the physical sensations of your feet. If you can't feel your feet, wiggle your toes.
Okay. Toes
Um,
wiggling under the desk, John.
wiggle your toes.
Okay.
And just notice the base of the chair and the back of the chair or settee. Just get a sense of how your whole body is being supported, and then we'll let people, get themselves really, really comfortable and supported. And then I'll just walk us through the exercise. Okay, so as you feel really supported, just slowly bring to mind this wonderful memory or image or picture, and just notice the really good feelings in the body that are generated by that picture or that image or that memory, and just credit the memory or whatever, or the holiday, whatever it is, with those good feelings. So it could be that holiday made me feel really good, or that person makes me feel really good, or that situation makes me feel really safe and secure. And we're just going to let people have a few minutes just to get a handle on that and just see how you feel about that. And I'm just recalling myself now, a time when I was doing some a little bit of body surfing, and the water, the wave took me right in shore, and how good that felt for me. Just allow those good feelings to flow. Okay, if you're still in touch with those feelings, then just really change the language and just really own and merge with and identify with those good feelings. Yeah, I feel peaceful, or I feel exhilarated, or I feel joy, or whatever the feelings are. Really just do a little switch and just really identify with them using the I word. okay if you're still in touch with it. It might even be a new joyful memory or whatever. Just imaginatively just step back and say, okay, so I'm now just noticing these feelings. No longer merged with them, I'm just noticing them. Okay, so if it feels right, just float the idea of, well, maybe a part of me is feeling this. It's not all of me, but a part of me. And again, just see if sense how the feelings begin to shift, if at all. Now just maybe check if it's okay to begin to come back. Maybe thank your body for what it's shown you, if you feel right, if it feels right to do so. Maybe promise to return to something if it needs that promise. And just very, very slowly just bring your awareness back into it.
And just to let people know that we are coming back, I think I can see there some people in the group having some issues with the video, so we're sorry about that. And I think we were being very quiet, John, so it was maybe hard to know if the video was sticking or whether we were just being quiet. So yeah, if you have been having some problems, you want to let us know in the chat room. Can you hear us now? Is that working? Yeah. Great. Okay, John. So we're kind of coming back from the exercise, and we've got about half an hour, I guess, to think about this and talk about it together. Is that what you're thinking?
Well, I'm wondering if there's a little bit of time, whether people might want to feedback some experiences, whether it was difficult, whether it worked. Whether or not people experienced any sort of shifts. I'm not quite sure how I did on the timing. I'm wondering if I perhaps did it too quickly. I might have done it too quickly. I'm not sure.
Wow. Well, let's invite some feedback, John. We can just take our time and just be mindful that it takes a bit of time for that request to just reach everybody in the group. So it'd be lovely if you're in the chat room and you have some comments on your experience that you would like to share. Yeah, and Joan, I can see the chat room and I can let you know what colleagues are saying.
That's great, yeah.
Okay. It was nice just as we were getting started that we were getting some feedback to say, yes, we've got an experience to use, and so thank you for those comments in the group.
That's really good. Yeah.
Great.
I mean, I don't know whether to just report what people have in the past fed back on doing that exercise.
Well, you could do that for a little bit, and then that would kind of let us kind of type in the chat room and just create some feedback if people want to. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I remember doing this exercise on a course that I was teaching. It wasn't a pure focusing course; it was an addictions course, and again, I'm confidentiality, but somebody had decided to recall a really wonderful holiday, and when they were in the mode of the holiday, made me feel absolutely wonderful. They reported that they felt so disempowered.
Oh, interesting.
Because it's the holiday responsible, not them. And I thought that was a very interesting insight, in the sense that when we are frequently, we and our clients are really just saying, well, yeah, he made me really angry. Well, if he made me angry, where does the power lie? Does it lie with me, or does it lie with the person who can trigger it?
That's a really interesting insight, isn't it? Yeah. Like, where is our agency when our body is kind of filled with another experience?
Yes. Another bit of feedback was almost the opposite. Certainly on the positive exercise. For example, where I think it was another. Given an example, say it's another person who had done something that made them feel really happy, and instead of feeling disempowered, they felt an immense sense of gratitude. It's like because the person needed to have done what they did. So none of these attitudes are in that sort of black and white category of right or wrong.
Yeah. But it sounds like the attitudes that you're thinking about describe a kind of process.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Well, maybe I could say a little bit about my experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. And you're getting some feedback in the chat room around the speed, saying it wasn't too quick. So that's nice to hear. I can see the relief on your face, John. You know, like when we've only got an hour, I guess you're trying to get that speed right, aren't you? Yeah.
Yes, and of course I can't see anyone's reactions. At least when I'm doing it with a group of people, I can get a sense of where they're at through some of the body language or whatever.
You can see all our faces and how our bodies are.
Yes.
But I noticed I was on a cliff last year. I went across the Lanzarote for a holiday for the first time, and so it was dark, and there was a massive moon, and we're looking at the ocean, and I was recalling that sense of awe and peace that comes just from the vastness of the ocean. But what seemed remarkable to me when I was right in the kind of, how did you describe it? The identification.
Identification,
the merging. I felt like I was going to fall asleep actually, and I've like my leg. You know, when your leg does that thing to just wake you up, and but when you got to the end of the exercise, and you're saying like a part of me, I could feel the experience moving, kind of lower in my chest from my whole body, and I could feel my body starting to move, and like I had some more energy, and I was kind of really awake, and I feel, I mean, we were full of techie issues when we were starting. I was like jam full of all that, but
Yeah.
I feel freer or something now, or I feel like I've got a bit more
Yeah.
space. Still with that feeling of peace, but just kind of about down here, I think. Yes.
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah. Does that make any sense, John? I'm just kind
That
of.
makes complete sense to me. Yeah, it really does make sense. That we go from external to ownership, from ownership to noticing, and from noticing to maybe, well, perhaps there's a part of me and not all of me.